last lesson, we looked at some of the things that you should consider before making the choice whether to start learning guitar using an electric guitar or an acoustic guitar. And we concluded that depending on the style of music that you feel most inspired by, and by the context in which you see yourself playing guitar over the long term, you will either be drawn to the acoustic, or to the electric, or perhaps equally to both. Now, to help you finalise or consolidate your decision, I want to next draw your attention to the way this choice affects your development as a guitarist, how it affects the way you learn to play guitar. The first thing to say is that practically everything you learn on one instrument can be transferred to the other. So chord shapes, scale patterns, that you learn on the acoustic guitar can be played on the electric. Techniques like bending strings, hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, fretting hand muting or palm muting, strumming, flat picking, finger picking, fingerstyle comping, flamenco style, all these basic techniques are transferable from electric to acoustic. The main aspects of playing electric guitar that you can't so easily learn on the acoustic have to do with the interface with the amplifier, like controlling volume, and tone. And creating a sustained sound. Controlling the amount of sustain. And feedback. like that. But even there, we now have an incredible range of electroacoustics available. And this happens to be one of them. So I can control volume, tone, and even to some degree get a little bit of sustain out of the instruments. And certainly some feedback. So I think it's important to make the point that committing to either acoustic or electric guitar as a beginner is not an irreversible decision. You can always make the change from one to the other at a later stage with very little difficulty. Having said all that, however, there's no doubt in my mind that your choice of instrument to start learning guitar on does have a lasting impact on your own personal style of guitar playing as it develops. For example, people who learn first on acoustic tend to have a better grasp of open chords. And of good basic rhythm guitar techniques, strumming, muting, dynamics, and maybe less comfortable with playing power chords, movable chord shapes, higher, thinner voicings of chords, and with improvised lead guitar soloing. Open chords can be played on the electric. But the instrument lends itself more obviously to power chords. And other movable chord shapes. And similarly, lead guitar is easier and more natural to the electric guitar player. Finally, the question I get asked a lot, which is easier to learn? Well, I would say that physically the electric guitar is easier to play because the tension on the strings is lighter and the action, the height of the strings above the frets, is lower. But controlling the sound is more difficult on electric guitar. And for that reason, the rather difficult technique of muting has to be learnt much earlier on. If at this stage you're still in any doubt, I'm going to give you 3 deal-breaking facts that all favour starting to learn guitar on the acoustic. Firstly, it's considerably easier to transition from the acoustic to the electric guitar. Playing the acoustic builds up the strength in your hands and fingers much more than the electric does. And because of this, when people transition onto the electric guitar at a later stage, they often have an exhilarating sense of acceleration of progress because they find the electric so easy to play by comparison. Making the transition the other way, from electric guitar to acoustic, often has the opposite effect, as you quickly realise that to get a good sound out of an acoustic guitar takes more effort and can feel like hard work. Then there's the consideration of cost. Setting yourself up with a rig of equal quality, buying an electric guitar is going to cost you around about twice as much, for the simple reason that you're going to have to fork out for an amplifier as well. And finally, it's a common mistake to buy an electric guitar if you live somewhere where your sound level is severely restricted. Yes, you can play it through headphones, but it's not really quite the same as being able to rattle the doors and windows. And of course, the acoustic guitar is more portable. It's not easy hauling your electric guitar and amplifier down to the beach to play around the campfire or the barbecue. And although you can get portable power supply systems, they don't really produce such a good result either in terms of volume or sound quality. If you found this lesson interesting, please click on the like button if there is one, or leave a comment, and do feel free to share the video with your friends. And if you'd like to gain full access to all our guitar teaching materials, please visit the Secret Guitar Teacher site and take a free look round at what's available there. See you again soon.